Hello guys, I'm delighted to have you here watching my new video guide for secondary school. Today we will continue speaking about discursive essay, for and against. In this video, we will learn how to write a discursive essay for and against on topic going to the cinema is always better than watching a DVD at home. Before analyzing or just learning how to write an essay on the topic, let's look at the parts of essay. The first one, as we have already mentioned before, is an introduction to the topic. What about the next paragraph? The second one is, yes, it's a paragraph full of arguments to support the idea. The third paragraph, arguments against the title. And the last one, the fourth, the writer's own opinion on the title. Okay, but in the example which we analyzed in the previous video, there were just some expressions that can help us to make our essay better. Let's look at them. Linking expressions. Let's remind what expressions can be used to add another argument. Do you remember them? Yes. Furthermore and moreover. One expression which is used to give an opposing argument, which was used in the example. Yes, it was however. Expressions which are used to say what you think, it's for the last one, where the writer expresses his or her own opinion on the subject. Yes, we may use such expressions as personally or in my opinion. Well done. Now let's move on. While just looking at essay layout, let's use these expressions according to the paragraphs. For an introduction to the topic, I like the idea how the writer of the example of the essay, watching a video, watching TV is a waste of time, starts his essay. I like this phrase and I advise you to start it in such a way. Love it or hate it, and then given you general information on the topic. Great idea. You may follow it or use your personal variant to start. Well, what about the second paragraph? The second paragraph is about the arguments to support the idea. What expressions were used there? Furthermore, yeah? Well, so one argument was mentioned, and then just to connect to arguments, we may use expression furthermore and mention another just argument to support the idea of the title. Paragraph 3 contains arguments against the title. Here we may use at the beginning of the paragraph just such an expression as however, and then write an argument, one argument, and then to connect two arguments against with the help of expression moreover. So, and you may already guess that the fourth paragraph is the writer's own opinion. And here are just two expressions which we may use, personally or in my opinion. So right now, I would like you to open your workbooks at page 33. And we will do some tasks there. So, page 33, task 4. Let's look at it. What should we do here? You should decide whether the arguments refer to statements A or B, which are given below, and whether they are for or against. So, guys, we are given two titles to discuss. Well, or to find just options, arguments for and against. The first title is Going to the cinema is always better than watching a DVD at home. Yes, it's a title. And the second one, title B, film stars get paid too much money. And here below, we've got arguments. We should read them carefully and decide, are these arguments about statement A or statement B? And then decide it's for this title or against it. Got it? I hope yes. Right now I will use just an interactive exercise to do this task. It will be more convenient. So again, title A, going to the cinema is always better than watching a DVD at home. And title B, film stars get paid too much money. So we've got an example. Argument, they work really hard. It's about film stars, yes? It's about title B. And this one is against the title. Now let's listen to argument number 1. We need to support our local cinemas. Is it about A or B title? Of course, about A. Is it to support the idea or it's against it? For the idea, yes. The second statement, you can stop and start when you want. It's about DVD, so it's title A. So, and think twice before you will say, is it for or against? You can stop and start. Oh, it's about DVD, so against going to the cinema. The third one. No one should get that amount of money. Title B. Yes, you're right. And it's to support the idea for that title. Argument 4. They make the film companies a lot of money. That's why they are paid too much or much money. It's about title B, and it's, as you have already guessed, against. Well, now argument 5. You can watch it as many times as you want. It's about DVD, so it's title A. Well, and it's, of course, against the title. Brilliant. Now argument 6. Films always look better on a big screen. Again, it's about film industry, so it's title A. Oh, and it's 4. Well done, super. Now let's check. Great work. We've done it. Brilliant. Now I would like you guys to look at our presentation again and mention arguments for and against on title. Going to the cinema is better than watching a DVD at home. 4. What arguments were for? We have found there in exercise 4. Yes, the first one, films always look better on a big screen. And what is another argument for? To support that title. We need to support our local cinemas. Great. And now let's look at a table again and find arguments which are against the topic. The first one, you can stop and start when you want. And the second one, you can watch it as many times as you want. It means DVD. So against, you can stop and start watching your DVD when you want, and you can watch your DVD as many times as you want. Brilliant. Now let's look at the next slide. We are returning back to essay layout right now. The first paragraph we are going to write is an introduction to the topic. So as we have already mentioned, we may start it with the phrase, love it or hate it, and then give a general information. The second paragraph, arguments to support the idea. Well, we have already found out how many? 2 arguments to support the idea. Let's just make a draft which will help us later. Yeah, we will put 3 dots. Yes, maybe we will add something at the beginning or just not. We're writing the first one. Films always look better on a big screen. And here you should add some more information. Why do you think so? Why you think so? Then, to connect 2 arguments to support the idea, you need expression which will link them. Furthermore, and you're putting comma and adding another argument. Or we need to support our local cinemas. Yes? Well, as they are entertainment, for example, centers in our town or in our city, well, blah, blah, blah. Now the third paragraph. It's a paragraph where you are writing arguments against the title. And what were the arguments against the title mentioned in our table? However, you are using this expression at the beginning because you are mentioning opposing ideas or arguments which are against the title. So I advise you to start this paragraph with however, then you are mentioning an argument against the first one. However, you can stop and start your DVD when you want. And explaining this idea, And to add another one, you're using expression moreover and mentioning just the second argument against. Moreover, you can watch it as many times as you want. And then add other ideas. Explain this idea, this argument. The fourth paragraph. The fourth paragraph is the writer's own opinion mentioned here. Of course, there are just two expressions which we mentioned before, personal and in my opinion. Only in this paragraph you are expressing your own idea according to the title. And you say you support the idea of the title or you are against it. Well, it was just like a plan for your writing, and now let's look at the next slide, which will be very useful for you. I'm mentioning one more time that the title of your essay is "Going to the cinema is always better than watching a DVD at home." Now let's make a scheme for our writing. Well, let's look at the first paragraph. I advised you to start it with the phrase, useful one, love it or hate it. What should we write here? We should write some general information about film industry because we know that it is just a part and parcel of our life. What can it be just written there? Love it or hate it. For example, film industry has changed our lives. Now we can't imagine our life without watching films at home or somewhere in the cinema. We all watch them, but do we know what is better? Going to the cinema or watching DVDs at home? It's a brilliant idea to finish this paragraph with a question, just to attract the attention of the reader. Well done. Let's move on. The second paragraph. The second is about mentioning arguments to support the title, for the title. So we may start with the first argument. Films always look better on a big screen, especially when it is the first presentation of the film. It can make a great effect or impression on the viewers. And then you are mentioning just another argument. Furthermore, you're writing, we need to support our local cinemas, as they are the cultural centers of our town or our city, and that makes them more attractive for guests or for tourists, for example. That was the second paragraph. Now let's speak what can be written in the third one. Of course, the third one is about opposing. Well, we are writing just arguments against the title, so we should start. I strongly recommend you to start this paragraph with the word however, and then mentioning the first argument against. However, you can stop and start your DVD when you want. It's just a big advantage of it. For example, when we watch a DVD, we can stop it and start when we want. And moreover, we can watch it as many times as we want. We like this or that film, for example. And now it's time for the last paragraph expressing your personal opinions about or on the title. Yes. How can we finish? Yeah, you are using just expression personally, and then personally, I think all types of watching films have their own pluses and minuses, and that make them unique, for example, or extraordinary. And then you continue using the expression, in my opinion. Going to the cinema and watching a DVD at home make our lives more exciting, for example. Or maybe you are on the contrary and you think that, in my opinion, watching a DVD at home is the most comfortable way of watching films. You may agree or disagree with the title and express your own idea here. Well, I hope that I helped you a little bit. And what I would like to say you, it's just to wish you the best of luck in writing the essay to the title, going to the cinema is always better than watching a DVD at home. And I strongly recommend you to look up at some instructions which are given in exercise 5. What is given, what is written there, which will help you to write and check your essay? Well, the first one, it's you should write an essay. Your introduction should make an impact. Do not forget about it. It shouldn't say what your opinion is, but should make an impact only. One paragraph should support the title and one should argue against it, well, as we mentioned it above, and use the conclusion to give your opinion. So these are just the tips for you, which will help you in writing your essay. So, guys, great job you've done together with me, and hope you will write great essays too. Thank you so much for being with me. Hope to meet you soon. Bye-bye.